You know, tooling department, this is where everything starts. All the molds are designed here, all the plugs, everything that we do starts right here.
What's up YouTube, and welcome back to the channel. Today is February 3rd. We are going to the Key West factory today to go check out their facilities and do a tour and see how these boats are built. So Mike Marlowe, the Southeast Regional Sales Rep, will be giving me the tour today. I met him last year at the Key West Boats Lake Day event up in Lake Marion, and had a great time. Super nice guy. Him and his father both work for Key West. If you ever watched the Key West video, fun fact, Mike's father Tom is the guy that is doing the voiceover for the videos. Definitely going to be a cool video, so stick around, check it out, and see how these boats are made.
What's up?
All right guys, just got here to the Key West factory and about to go take a tour, meet Mike, and see what Key West boats are all about. See you inside. All right, we're here at the Key West factory, and this is Mike Marlowe. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Mike Marlowe. I've been with Key West, I don't know, working on about 13, 14 years now. And buddy here, Rob, showing him around. I hope you all enjoy the video.
What do you do here?
What I do here, I do a lot. I mean, my title is I'm the Southeast Sales Rep. So, I mean, I take care of all our dealers from South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, and Texas. So I got a large breadth of responsibility, but in addition to this, not just selling the boats, you know, when I'm not at the boat show or at a dealer's office, I'm here at the plant, hands-on with the design process, moving things around, do whatever needs to be done. You wear a lot of hats if you're an employee at Key West Boats.
So if you're buying a boat anywhere in those areas, chances are Mike's had his hands on it in some way, shape, or form, and he's had some involvement. So
I've touched the paper, I've touched the boat, I've touched something in regards to it for sure.
And Mike is definitely passionate about what he does, and is definitely passionate about the brand Key West. So we're going to take a tour, check out the kind of the process of everything that's going on, and maybe hopefully see some newer stuff. Actually, you're looking at right behind Mike right now is the new 263 FS with the new glass enclosure T-top setup. Whole new design for the T-top, and people are wanting to see it, and I think it's going to be a huge hit. So let's take the tour.
Take a tour.
All right.
You know, tooling department, this is where everything starts. All the molds are designed here, all the plugs, everything that we do starts right here. I mean, it can start with, a piece of plywood, some Bondo, and all these shapes you see in all of our boats is all hand done. You know, there's no, you don't look around, there's no computers, there's no router machines, no CNC machines. It's all done by just feel and hand, what feels right to us.
Old school way.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, we measure the boat after it's done.
Right.
All the time, what kind of plans do you work on? Well, it's an organic system. As we're building the hull, pretty much, you know, that's easy enough. We can get the hull knocked out first.
What model is this right here?
This is going to be a brand new model.
Okay.
This is going to be what we refer to as the 229 FS.
229, okay.
As you know, the 249 just came out.
Right.
So this is going to be kind of bringing it back down to a smaller level, the answer for the 219 guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, you've seen the 249. They kind of checked off a lot of boxes.
Yeah.
The 239 guys were, I wish it had this, and this. It's like, here you go.
So you were saying that this is kind of filling the gap?
Kind of filling the gap, and as you noticed on the 249, you know, we listen to people, you know, and we experience it too. We use the boats. We're not just guys that sit in an office, say this is what's going to work, put it out there. You know, that's how the designs are made. That's how every size and dimension of the seats are. We'll sit down in the seat, you know, it's not.
Yeah, I noticed in the 249 that you made the depth of the seat a little nicer.
And the way the cushions were designed, that how it rolls over gives you a little extra too.
Right.
Sure feeling up under your legs.
Yeah,
you know,
no, that definitely.
A little better.
The little things make a big difference.
You look in here. This is, you know, what they're doing right now.
So you got the stringers in.
Well, they're actually making the stringer plug right now. Basically.
Okay.
We've got the hull made, and we'll build the stringer. So then we'll cast a mold off of this.
Right.
And we'll have our, you know, our plug, then a mold.
Gotcha. Okay.
3-step process. Make the plug, then your mold, then your boat.
Right. Okay. So this is kind of a rough idea of what the hull will look like.
Yeah. And the thing is, the beautiful part about a hull is when you get a good running hull like the 219 was. We developed the 219 2012. We came out with it. Was received well, ran well. And then, you know, the natural progression was the 239, and we all know
Right.
how that turned out. 239 has only been the best-selling boat in its size class for
Yeah.
the last 10 years in a row.
And I own one. I will say
I've had 4 over the
mine's
last, over the last
9 years old, and it's still going strong and very few issues.
Every
So
239 you see walking through here, the hull is exactly the same as yours.
yeah,
So, I mean, we might have changed, I mean, and the deck for that matter as
Yeah.
well. I mean,
It's a great
cushions may have
hull.
changed, you know,
It's a
couple
great
little
hull.
options, but when
you
something
can't beat the
works,
whole shot on that boat.
It's hard.
So
You can.
No.
The 249.
yeah, well,
The 249, ironically, is actually as good, if not better, performing boat with the same horsepower.
right,
The running surface, I mean, what we did to that, just stretching it out a little bit, we made a little modifications, minor.
right,
But everything we did was just right.
gotcha.
I mean,
Yep.
you know, we option it with the Seakeeper ride. Does it need it? Absolutely not. The boat don't need trim tabs at all.
No, I mean the 239.
Yeah, the 239
You know,
is a
yeah,
very
I
well-balanced
very rarely use them. I will say when you have passengers that like to move around the
Right.
boat,
That's where the ride system does come
that's
into play.
where it comes in handy. But other than that, it's really not necessary.
There's a lot of boats that use the Seakeeper ride as a Band-Aid to fix a hull doesn't run optimal.
Right, right.
And I'll be honest with you, straight up. And that was our apprehension to even offer. We can walk right here, so it's not. That's a 249 hull right there. They made a few modifications on the capping area. You know.
Okay.
And that's what it is. It's always
Tweaks.
improving.
Yeah, improving it, exactly. Listening to your customers,
Customers,
not just ignoring them.
and even in the build process, you know, as we're putting it together, we find things that help make it go together easier, cleaner,
Right.
neater.
Right, right.
We make those adjustments on the onset. When we get to this process here, this is where boats are being born.
Right.
Got a bunch of wounds in here. All that work goes in there. We generate all these molds. Again, all these molds are done in-house. We don't fit anything out. Some companies that other manufacturers don't finish their prints out.
Right.
For any contest, another mold manufacturers don't see it out. Here you go.
Right.
You know, we'll put it together, put a fake deck in it, we'll run the hull, and then come back and make modifications on the fly before we put it in production.
So this right here, this would be basically where you would start, right?
Yep, this is an empty mold ready to go.
So this would get waxed, then gel coated, then you start laying your fiber layers and build out the hull.
Building a boat's kind of like baking a cake backwards.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah. A lot of people.
You put the batter in.
I remember when I first learned that you start basically from the outside in. I was like, "Whoa, what?"
Yeah.
I had no clue. I always just assumed that it was done the other way around. Like you build a car, you paint it at the end.
Yeah.
With boats, you actually paint the gel coat
I
first.
mean,
So
it comes down to the quality and the condition that the mold's in.
Right.
The prep work
right.
and how we maintain these molds. And as you
Right.
see, I mean, these molds are rotating, and we got several molds. Well, I'll say several. We got multiple sets of molds for each model.
So for like,
We'll pull one off and rub on it and then bring it back in.
so look, for example, the 239 FS has been around since
2013.
2013. So we're talking a 13-year-old.
Well, but we also have 6 sets of molds for that one.
That's what I was going to ask you. So you have
As the production level is demanded, we
Right.
do like, some molds because I mean they're constantly a set in there. I
right.
mean they come out of here and go back in the tool for maintenance, rubbed on, get
Right,
fixed.
tweak here and there, fix any imperfections.
Eventually, a mold will just get used up when we have to start over.
Okay, yeah, I was going to ask. I'm assuming they don't last forever.
They last longer than I mean, as long as you maintain them, and we get
Right.
5, 6, 7, 8 years out of a set of molds.
Okay,
I mean, this little boat right here,
so I'm assuming this one just got a few layers of fiberglass.
it's still kicking off. Yeah,
Yeah, the heat
still
comes
generating.
off, right? Yep.
we got what's called the bulk build. You know, they start first with the skin coat. He's laying the skin coat over there. That's the very first step.
Okay, can we pop over there and look at that real quick? 239.
Yep.
All right, so here's a 239 FS. They're getting the first layer after the gel coat.
Now we're going with the
So I'm assuming that's a gray hull, right? Okay.
Great hull.
Yep. I love that color, by the way.
Over there, they call it chopper gut.
Yep. So this method has been, you guys have been doing this for a while. I know I've seen some of the older videos where the owner was
Right.
walking around the plant. I'm guessing it had to have been at least 20 years ago.
Or at least,
Yeah, so,
I mean, the part about this, you know, a lot of people hear stop and they disparage it because it doesn't hand label.
Right.
But there's a, if you're fanning
this is completely impregnated and
Yeah.
fully, like,
coming out,
there's going to be no gaps, no air bubbles, nothing. Like,
that's where the chop comes in. It's easier to manipulate the chop.
right.
Look at all the boards, all the different strakes and everything.
Right.
You roll it out. We're doing a little more down as we're doing on this side over here. and they'll do the hand lay.
Right.
So we incorporate those methods.
Right.
We have to, a lot of times 100% hand lay, which is great. However, there does, influence the ability to have gas and air voids.
Exactly.
That's big.
Anything man-made can have imperfections. So.
They're not above that.
Right. Okay, so these guys, this is a 260.
Yep. You then laying the woven in place on top of the chop that's already in there. So you got a nice clean top with vinyl ester resin, which is higher end resin, which inhibits, prohibits water blistering and stuff like that.
Right.
I always recommend the bottom tank, especially when leaving the water full time, but the vinyl ester will keep it from blistering fast, in a matter of a week or two.
Okay, good to know. And you can see that this flare on this 260, that Carolina flare is so pronounced on the CC models. You can tell I've done a little research on Key West.
260.
That's not a 260? That's
a 263.
Is that?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, that's 260. A little more pronounced flare. That one's got a good flare on this one.
Okay, yeah. So that was a 263 FS. This is the 260.
You can definitely tell the difference.
And you can definitely see.
It's like a shelf.
Well, the freeboard alone on this vessel is much more than on a 263. So yeah, this is definitely a little more built for the rougher waters out there.
Way more aggressive ball for sure.
Definitely get offshore and not have an issue with that boat. So this is where you're starting to do the foaming process?
If they get the stringer in place, they impregnate the hollow string completely full of foam.
Yep.
And then this is what separates us from a lot of other manufacturers. This process right here, adding the foam along the sides, that is where the beginning of the upright level flotation begins.
Right.
We're not done yet. I mean, once the cat
what's the phrase? Positive and upright?
Positive, upright, and level.
And level, yeah.
Level. Keeping the boat, and you and everyone inside the boat. That's the key. So a boat can not sink, but it'll flip over.
Oh yeah.
We don't want the capsize.
Yeah, we don't want the capsize. So this is one of the one of the brands that I tell my friends when they get on my boat that if something happens, the boat starts taking on water, don't leave the vessel.
No.
You're safer on the boat than away from it.
And if you're inside the boat,
right,
it's gonna be a lot better condition than
exactly. Hide under that T-top, stay out of the sun,
right.
Hydrate as much as possible, and we'll get through this.
This little boat right here, this is 1720. This is what started this. This is what brought us to the game.
Right.
This boat's been in production.
I mean, it seems like every manufacturer started out with a 17-footer or even smaller.
It's the most copied boat in the industry.
Yeah.
A lot of manufacturers. 1720 came out in 1993.
Wow.
It wasn't long after that before everybody had their version.
Wow.
So,
That's
we were the ones that kept
33 years old. Wow.
We made this one in-house, the first completely
Tried and true.
design.
Tried and true right there.
Classic Coke.
Yeah. Awesome.
I mean, it's hard pressed to go to a boat show and have this on display. There's nothing
So
else.
this has all the layers.
Yeah, this is ready to go. I mean,
So this one has all the layers.
This is going to push over there.
And you can see along the gunnels that there's
core mat material.
Core mat, yep. The extra material.
That's a foam material.
Right.
It feels like
gives it more
high-end
rigidity,
toilet paper,
right?
but
Rigidity.
adds rigidity to the walls, keeps those ripples you see out of the side walls.
The flap.
And it's also foam. So it's more flotation.
Right. Yeah. More flotation is better.
The little hole you see in it, that's what allows the resin to kind of fully impregnate.
We'll try to get a little shot of that. You can kind of see it. Little holes.
That's a more expensive product we put into the boats, but it just makes it better.
Yeah.
We do a lot of things that a lot of manufacturers don't do.
Right.
We don't promote enough.
Well, honestly, when I first started looking into Key West, I mean, to be honest, I had no interest in Key West until I owned one, just because I didn't know them. And now that I have it, I've found a lot of things about it that were like, wow, these guys do a lot more than some other boats. Like the positive upright and level flotation is huge. A lot of people don't realize that.
In addition to the safety factor, which is, primarily why we do it. We care about our customers and we put our families on the boats.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's a big thing. But the foam also adds, a level of quality to the ride.
Yeah.
Quiets it down. Lets you float a little higher in the water.
Yeah.
It makes the boat run more efficiently. So, I like to tell people all the time, if you want to run on the water or through the water. If you're on the water, you're burning less fuel and it's a lot more pleasurable ride. If you're through pushing water out your way, I mean, that works. Displacement's cool, but, let's find a more efficient way to get this 4,000-pound piece of fiberglass across the water.
Absolutely, yeah. Efficiency is huge in boats, and
Absolutely. It's expensive to use.
They're very expensive. So this,
That little boat machine in there, this is where it's about to head.
Okay.
The cut room. God bless
okay,
these guys.
so this
who
is
do
where they,
job.
the
trim
fiberglass,
the edges,
and
they pop
and you can see him right now. He's actually cutting it, trimming that edge off. So when the cap goes on, it's a nice clean fit.
Goes in looking like that, comes out looking like this.
Yep, this is what it'll look like at the end.
This building right here is where we take care of all the imperfections that are put in, you know, 'cause like you said, we're boat builders.
Right.
Jesus was a carpenter, not a boat builder.
Nothing's perfect. So now that cap right there, is this for this?
Yeah.
Okay. That's a two.
This is what I'm starting to do.
Yep.
You know, and it's usually going to be the usual suspects here.
Yep.
And the radiuses, stuff like that. So you see all those alligator stuff. They're going to go through, sand all that down,
Right.
pump it, you know, to a hot shine.
Yep.
In this room right here, we'll walk from here, check it out. But they're great. We got lights all over the place. You bring the barrel up in here, they'll wipe it down, they'll look for any imperfections inside the hole.
Then you can see it obviously, like they've been sanding that down.
Fresh out the mold.
Yep.
So, it's
So
got, you know, it's got all the little residue and stuff.
Okay, so that'll get sanded down and cleaned up.
This is where we find out all the problems.
This is where all the issues pop up.
These guys make a living out of finding out how we do it, how we made a mistake.
Well, you can see it's very bright in here, so the camera is going to love this.
Yeah.
How you doing?
1720.
Another 1720. It's a great platform, really, especially if you're into fishing. You can't.
It's the easiest boat to use. And
Right.
a small boat, it handles the water so
Right.
much better than anything else in this size class.
I feel like in general, boats handle the water better than people do.
For sure. Absolutely.
I've had people ask me, "You think I can make it to Bimini on like a 17-footer?" I'm like, "Your boat could. I don't know if you will want to,
Well,
but
that's like a little. I mean, I don't know if did you ever hear the skiff challenge we did a few times?
no."
There's a race around Florida.
Okay.
You start at Florida, and you finish north of Jacksonville in Fernandina Beach. And what it was only open to manufacturers.
Okay.
There was four manufacturers did it initially. It was Yellowfin, Hells Bay, Sea Pro, and Key West.
Okay.
And there were, you know, parameters you had to fall into. The boat had to be under 18 foot,
Right.
and it had to have no more than a 19-gallon fuel tank and only a 70 horsepower motor. Now, we had to make some modifications as far as fuel tank, because our 1720 comes standard with a 40-gallon tank.
Okay.
So, you know, we was able to do that to make a smaller tank.
Yeah.
But the way the race was laid out was you leave Florida, and you don't stop for anything but fuel until you get to north of Jacksonville. So
The whole.
circumnavigating the entire state of Florida, going around the outside of the Keys, the southernmost point,
Yeah.
and then coming back to the east side. Now, you can go inside, outside, however,
Right.
but you're only stopping for fuel. And you got
Right.
a truck paralleling you along the coast.
Right.
And you have these predetermined site stops you want to make, you know, so how far can your boat go? 19 gallons, you can get about 120 miles on 19 gallons if you can go wide open throttle all
Right.
the time, which you can't because you're in a 17-foot boat.
Exactly. You're not doing wide open on
First year, me and my
anything
brother
more
did
than
that.
2-foot Z's.
It took us 69 hours.
Yeah.
We crossed the Gulf of Mexico in a 1720 with a 70 horsepower motor, left Apalachicola at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
It was storming that night, 6 to 8 foot seas. 9 miles an hour was our average speed across the Gulf. It took us 7 hours to go 50 miles.
Wow.
And when the sun came up the next day and we could see land, we became religious, both of us. It was the most
I could
terrifying
imagine.
night I've ever had. But
I could imagine.
Like you,
The boat did fine.
going on the comment, how much can the boat handle? More than you can.
Yeah.
That 1720 is
The boat will always handle more than you.
I don't know if you've seen the little boat I run around the lake every now and then that I put on Facebook.
Oh, yeah. I love that little thing.
That boat was the second boat we built for the skid challenge.
Oh, really? Okay.
For that
So how long have you been with Key West?
I've been here since 2011.
Okay.
So going on 15 years now.
Wow. Okay.
And my dad, Tom, who everybody's probably more familiar with, he's been here for going on over 20 years. But he's been in the marine industry since 1973.
No. Wow. Okay.
So he brings to the table more than 50 years of
Okay.
boating experience. And that's
Right.
where a lot of these hull designs come from, between him and Hutch. And everybody else has been here.
So Hutch is the owner.
Hutch is the owner.
Okay.
And Hutch and Tom have known each other for
Right.
since the 70s.
So is
they
Hutch-
started working together.
Hutch
in the
still
outdoors.
active?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He was here
Okay.
yesterday.
Okay.
Working on our new model, doing his things. Yeah, he's
Okay. Cool.
he's very much active. Sometimes we refer to him as a seagull because he'll fly in, swoop on everything, and fly away. But more times than not, He's very knowledgeable,
Right.
very hands-on, and he uses the product that we build.
Yeah.
I mean, he's out there. I mean, he'll go out there and show you how he's doing. And 263 guys say, "I can't fish on that boat. There's too many." Because you're crazy. And they'll sit down on the cooler. You know,
Hey, you listen. You can fish on anything. I grew up. We had my father's first boat when I was I don't know 12.
Yeah.
He bought a 77 Grady White 17-foot enclosed bow, and we used to take it from Marlowe, New York, which is about 60 miles north of Manhattan, and take it all the way down to Long Island Sound and fish blues all day long in a 17-foot boat.
Well, and that's what I remember.
And then we had a 20-foot Thompson. We would do the same thing. And the 20-foot Thompson was not a fishing boat.
No.
It was a cruiser.
Right.
But we fished the crap out of that boat, and we had a great time doing it. So,
I mean, one of my first jobs, you know, in high school, while I was still in high school, my dad was working at the Marine Center in Charleston, now Hankel Marine.
yep.
And, you know, my job during the summer was working at the Marine Center. I was rigging boats, and the boats I rigged mostly was Key West boats. And that's 1992, 1993.
Okay.
So
You've been in the game a long time as well. Yeah.
I've been getting a paycheck for the last 15 years, but I've been involved with Key West
Right.
boats. I mean,
Right.
since the early 90s. I mean, about 5 years after they were born.
Right.
But I mean, at the time, you know, in 1720, when it first came out, that was a boat you took to the jetties routinely to fish.
Yeah.
The 1900 that they built at that time, that was a big boat.
Yeah.
I mean, when I got to rig a 1900 with a 150 Merc, I'm like,
Well, we went from that 17-foot Grady White, and I don't even remember. I think it had a 70 horse Johnson on the back, and then we went from that to the Thompson, which was a 20-foot Cuddy with a 4.3 inboard outboard, and we were like, "This thing's huge, ginormous," especially as a kid.
That's the first.
You know, I was 14 years old, captaining that boat to Long Island Sound every weekend. I loved it.
A 20-foot boat was huge.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember we came out with a 2000 walk around in 1994, and I'm like, "What in the heck? This is amazing."
Yeah.
Right,
a huge boat.
back on now, the 239 is the most popular boat we built.
Right, and now your largest is 290,
291.
291. Right. So
Again, very easy boat to handle.
Yeah.
It ain't big enough.
no, yeah, for some people it's not big enough.
But I mean, the first boat being a 239 is not uncommon.
Right.
Or 30 years ago,
How you doing?
I think it looks a little cleaner now.
Yes. So this is where everything gets put together,
So
right?
the rigging begins. So
Okay.
They start adding it. They'll add lids and all the stuff on
Right.
that side. Whatever top side.
So everything's already been finished. This is where we're putting it together,
Assembly begins.
and we get to be called boats for real.
It's starting to look like a boat.
Yeah. Okay. What's this? Is a
239.
239?
You'll see plenty of these rolling through.
Yeah, which is cool because I own one. I like to see the process. You know, I'm sure it hasn't changed a whole lot since 2017.
This hasn't.
Right.
I think the only thing really changed on the 239 has been the options and
Right.
some features and technology.
So this is where all the plumbing is.
They'll start running
Everything
the
starts-
lines and
right.
everything, and they're doing whatever needs to be made on that side, on the deck side.
Okay.
And then they get up here to where you see these guys with the hoist and everything. That's where they become a boat.
Okay.
The capping process begins.
So then you encapsulate this for the bilge area. Helps keep it
It's interior gel coat, what
right.
they call that. You know,
not super smooth, but it's
Right.
good enough to help keep it clean
that's what it
for
is.
cleanup and things like that. And I see you also do the
Purely
anchor
aesthetic.
locker as well.
Yep, all purely aesthetic.
Yep.
You open a compartment, you're going to see into the build. You want to see white.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
if you see red, is that bad? No, it's just not as pretty.
Right. Well, I mean the logo right there you can see, or
That's
the
the hidden hole number.
hidden hole number. Yep.
Somebody easily we put the stamp right here.
Right.
That's easily manipulated. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah. You could grind that off, fill it in, and put whatever you want. So it's pretty smart.
Nothing but trim tabs over here.
But that
Trim tabs. And other pieces they come in here, get some final touches. And
Okay.
come over here. So then I'm going to add. We got a steel toe in the back of this one on the deck. Some two pieces that makes it a little easier to get the seat banks in there.
okay.
Whatever mean it can't be done after the fact. Just
That's a 239 too, right?
239.
Yep.
Still a very popular model.
Very, very much so. And I love that you guys have, upgraded the FSR. Now, is Key West? We've all seen the newer models where you've gone with the enclosed T-top. Is that something that is going to be going forward?
It will be
Eventually.
And that's just mainly because that's what the market is.
The market's asking for it. Yeah. I mean, if there was one thing that I would say that my least favorite part of my 239 FS is that short little windscreen.
Well, you can get a taller one for that 239 FS that goes all the way up to the top of the radio box. So and it just goes off of that as it's a taller version of yours.
I did not know that, and I've looked.
Okay.
So I made one.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well,
I actually made one out of Lexan, and it's removable.
that about 2 years ago, just because of that purpose right there.
Yeah.
To give it a fuller coverage.
I know they offered it on, I think it was the 263 and the
That's where
291.
it came from. We went there first, and then we nailed it back. That's
Yeah, because I'll tell you,
no problem.
if you can advertise that
Going right there.
that you can get the taller windscreen on the 239, people will buy it because they're out there, they're wanting them. So
there's an example of one right there.
Okay.
Windshield on. You can tell how it's about 10 inches taller than yours.
okay,
For the one you had the original. Tall windshield change. Yep, tall windshield change.
that's maybe a little taller than mine.
Well, whenever the top's on it, there's a gap like that between that and the.
Yeah, mine is not. There's,
No.
there's a big gap. So another 239 FS.
Then crazy part is some guys down in Florida, they get upset about the full windshield
Yeah,
stuff.
because they want that
That's why
breeze
they
hitting
wanna
them.
Offer the cheap stuff, and it's a little less expensive, powder coat to powder coat.
Right,
But again, it's what you prefer.
right.
And so we're not going to force you to get this. Now, eventually, it may migrate to that because we're finding ourselves building 40 boats a week and 38 of them
Right.
are getting the full enclosed.
It might be more cost effective
Exactly,
to just
go
go
cost
that route. Right.
And we try to maintain the ability to accommodate everybody's wishes. I mean, we're a production company, but we are very easy to work with, and we'll do things. And most manufacturers
So that's a lot of-
don't even offer us,
I was gonna
stability.
ask that because I noticed you had that blue boat sitting outside.
That's blue and orange.
Yeah, the blue and orange, which is definitely not a standard.
That is one.
And there's
that is
also
our
the
production man.
the garnet red one that you guys built
Yep.
that was at the show last year at
The
the.
special ones you'll see is those are usually employee boats.
Okay.
Have long-time employees like the orange and blue boat. That's
Right.
Chris Kaiser. That's our production manager. He's been here almost 30 years.
So now, if a regular customer wanted to go that custom, is it possible?
Yes, it is, but there is going to be cost.
Of course,
I mean,
of course.
because it's something outside of the damn
Right.
norm.
Yep.
We got a dealer up in Greenville, Palmetto, and they have commissioned us a couple times to do some special stuff. And we get an orange boat. They're in Clemson country.
Right.
And, now they paid an additional few $1,000 for that special one-off color because they're not going to put orange in our color wheel.
It makes sense, right? Yeah. You can't.
And somebody had to have it, and then it's a boat. Nobody
Right.
needs it. We want it, and when you get to the position in your life to be able to afford this luxury item, I understand why you would not want to compromise.
Right.
I mean,
It's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money, and this is
A lot of
what you
money,
wanna
and-
do. If you like boating and that's part of your life, I mean, that's an investment in your quality of life.
Right.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. So quick question on the customizing too, as far as hull colors, bottom colors. That's an option when you're in the build phase as well.
I mean, within reason,
Right.
we're not going to go out of our way and have everything in a custom color option. Now, again,
Right.
the way we did the orange boat, we built a white boat.
Right.
And we didn't get Velcro. We sent it to our motor guy who paints motors, and he painted the hull for the guy. And
Oh, okay.
so I mean, that's
Yeah.
there's ways to do it if you got that.
Right.
Now, it might not be 50% for us to do it on our
Right.
but we will give you avenues to make that happen.
Okay, cool. So example though, like you got this white and yellow combination here, with the yellow on the top, the white on the bottom, and then right next to it you got the full blue hull.
Right.
So that's something that you can opt in out,
Absolutely.
and
Whatever
as
color
well
you
as
want.
this. What's this? A
That's a 291.
291 right here. Beautiful boat. My
The inverted hull. You got the
Yep.
top color on the bottom, white on
right. So now you got the white on top and the inverted color on the bottom, which is a nice touch. I like that.
I mean, any colors that we currently offer, all these variations are available with no additional cost.
Okay.
As long as we have the colors. And
Right.
When you go outside of the color wheel that we offer, that's when it gets a little more customized.
Right.
That's what we're going to talk about.
Totally
Maybe
makes sense.
delayed lead time, there's going to be an additional cost. But
Right.
at the end of the day, I want you to have what you want.
Yeah. And again, you're spending a lot of money.
You don't need this boat.
You're hopefully right. Nobody needs a boat. That's the fun, unless you're like a charter
I
captain.
understand that.
But nobody technically needs a boat.
This is all,
And
it's all desire, and we deserve it.
so, do you have any 249s being built right now?
You have no
Okay.
the special hole in the wall. Hold on. What up? Hole number 2.
Okay. So this is hole number 2 for the 249 FS. Now I wanted to point out some things real quick that I didn't get a chance to point out at the boat show, but one of them is this right here. No more clumsy, weird step ladder to step on. Perfectly flat platform.
Goes way deeper in the water, makes
And-
it easier to get your leg up.
Yup. A lot easier. What's the weight capacity on that? Do you know?
350 pounds.
350 pounds. So even I could use it. Then you've got this cooler slash storage, whatever you want to call it right here. On the 239 FS, it's at an angle. So anytime you try to put something on it, it would slide off. They flattened this out, which is awesome.
It made it a lot bigger,
And it's
deeper.
way bigger. Way bigger. So this one's got regular trim tabs.
Yeah, and that being an option.
Yeah,
Again,
yeah.
Again, the hull doesn't need the ride system. It's
Right.
definitely, an option that adds quality to it and pretty cool stuff. But at the end of the day, the boat runs so well.
Right.
I mean, it's a very balanced boat.
Right. You don't. It's not. It's a want more than a need.
Absolutely.
Right.
And, we want to provide that want for you.
So as you can see here, the bilge access
Bilge access
is so much
tremendous.
better.
Tremendous.
So much better than the 239.
Great.
Grape number 1 for me was the bilge access. Grape number 2 was the windscreen.
I've run 239s over the last several years, and I've had my head down inside that whole head and shoulder trying to get to it.
Yeah, your bilge pump goes, and you got to fix
things
it.
happen even in my boats.
Yeah.
I'm not excluded from that. But yeah, all this is way more stuff.
So here's something you'll probably never see if you buy a boat is the
The
deck without the console.
And as you can tell, the way we put our consoles in is we have this detail that it fits inside of.
Right.
And
It's
then
not sitting on top of,
not
it's
sitting on-
in it, so it's never going to move.
From the side. We glue it in, of course, from the tactile.
Right.
And then in addition to that, we have mechanical fasteners all the way around it. And getting that type of attachment gives you way more rigidity and security.
Right.
As keeping this console attached to the boat security.
So a question that I had was, I know, so obviously between the 249 or the 239 and the 239 FSR, you think you've got, what, 3 different top options?
Well, 249 only has one. The
249 only has one. That's what my was question.
That's
Okay.
referred to as the
So
pilot
it's always going to have that rear support, and then probably due to the fact that the legs for the T-top end at the console.
Right. The console is designed specifically for. I mean,
Okay.
and that same console won't fit in a 239.
Right.
There's discussions about maybe dragging it back or not. It
Yeah.
just depends on how.
I think it would be a bonus, especially in that size range. A lot of your competition is going legless.
Yep.
Or integrating the legs so tight into the console that they don't impede your walking.
I mean, the way we did it, powder coat. That's one, if you want to call it a downside. You have to get powder coat with that style of top.
Yes.
That detubing is not the material. You can't get it anodized or
No.
stuff, which is why we want to keep offering the round stuff because
Some people like
just
that.
Can't live with I understand it.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be a maintenance item. Powder coat is not a matter of if but when. It's
Right.
Sometimes now
I have issues with mine.
and where your issues are where it fastens to the deck or fastens to the console. That's usually
Right.
where it starts. Where the contact is made with the stainless against the aluminum.
All right, so let me ask you a question about the decision to go with this style of bow setup on the 249. Obviously, the 263 has it, the 291 has it. I like it. I think it's awesome to have it built in. You don't have to remove cushions or anything like that. But was it something that you guys were on the fence with?
Well, I'll be honest. Hutch loves that.
Yeah.
And I like it too, and I like it better. I mean, I like it. One on the 263, 291 works great.
Yeah.
But what I've witnessed and experienced with my being in all these boat shows over the years, I mean, I do about 30 a year. And I see guys, they see the twin engine boat. Their mind says twin boat, fishing boat, and they walk up on it, they see all these seats.
Yeah.
I can't fish on that boat. Yeah, you can, but
Yeah, you can. Oh,
you're
yeah.
expecting to see an
I mean, I see a casting platform there. I see one there. I see one up front.
Great place to hook up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, lock you right in. Yeah, absolutely.
But anyway, that right there on this size boat is beautiful
Yeah,
because got a lot of 239 customers out there that love the 263, but it's a big jump, man.
it is.
I mean, it's
It
a big
is.
jump. You got
I'm hoping I
motor.
can make that jump someday.
It's a big jump. I mean, you're retail to retail, new to
Yeah.
new. I mean, you got 110,000 off 239, then you go to 263 with similar options. You're over $200,000.
Right.
That's $100,000 jump.
Yeah.
This is a $30,000-$40,000. This is that like easier to just
Yeah. Oh yeah. And
what you like.
I said it in the boat show video that if you had any issues with your 239 FS, the 249 took care of them.
Yep.
And you get an extra foot out of the deal.
An extra foot
And a bigger motor.
and an amazing running ball. I mean, you can run this boat with a 300, and it's going to give you the same speed as a 239, if not a little bit better, and a little more efficient.
Yeah.
Which just blows my mind. I mean,
Right.
me and Dad was like, "What the heck are these numbers telling us right now?"
So does
Get better.
do all the 249s have the windlass setup?
It's an option. That's what I
It's an option, okay.
It's an option. This one, I mean, when you open the conventional standard anchor, just like on your boat.
Right.
You open it up, and we have the dog ears in there to hold onto a standard fluke anchor.
Okay.
But we have an insert that goes there that holds the windlass.
Windlass, and then you do a through haul.
And a through hole.
Right. So that obviously would have to be optioned in before.
Learn to build. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's not something you're going to do afterwards. You're not going to cut that out.
I foresee the windlass being checked 9 out of 10 times.
Yeah,
Because the
100%.
now,
It's one of the things I wish I had was windlass.
I mean, what was the impedance to the windlass on your boat if you wanted to trolling motor? You got a big windlass on top of the mountain. You know, you got
Right.
to get creative with how you mount your trolling motor.
Right. So my previous owner of my boat had a trolling motor on it.
Right.
He used to fish actually in the Keys with it.
Okay, yeah,
So Key West in the Keys.
makes sense.
Yeah. Twice a year, I believe he said.
Not built there. We're built in Ridgeville, South Carolina.
I know. It can be confusing to some people.
Yeah, Boston Whaler's built in Florida.
So what's the size tank on this? Is another question I had.
Let's get it fun. I mean, tell him what this one is. It's got a capacity of 113 gallons.
Okay. So it's a little bigger than the 239, but not
You'll get
significantly.
6 gallons in here before you hit that.
Right.
They call it Hewlett space and start kicking back on you. So I tell people it's going to hold 100 gallons all day long over there. Where your boat holds 90 gallons all day long over there. Maybe you can squeeze more in there, but
Okay, so I got a question for you, and if you tell me if you don't want this in the video, I'll delete it. But so many people with the 239 FS have complained about the accuracy of the fuel gauge.
that's all calibration.
Right. So is that something you guys have improved upon?
We don't do that.
Okay.
That's done at the dealer side when they do their.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because we don't fuel it.
Because from what I've been told, you have to do it when the tank's empty.
Yeah, and they
And
do that when they.
Good luck getting your tank empty nowadays.
I mean, it's easier on the boats that have mechanical, right, motors and
Okay.
throttles. With the, I mean, they can have a digital gauge in it, but it's mechanical, so you don't have to marry. There's no computerized. You don't have to tell it
Right.
everything initially. Also, now moving forward, 90% of the boats we build have digital, or this size have the digital.
Right.
trends.
So I have the digital on mine,
And that's
and it's I get nervous. I got like 3 bars, and then I go fill it up,
Well,
and
I
it
can
takes
tell
it'll take 40 gallons.
my experience on every boat we build. The sending unit in the back of the tank.
Yeah.
The hovers about that far above the bottom of the tank.
Yeah.
If you're level, it's flashing. You got about 15 to 20 gallons left in that tank.
Right.
Because the tank is long.
Yeah. Right.
So you got
Exactly.
that much fuel spread over that area.
Right. And once you get going, it's all going to come to the back anyway.
I've had the opportunity to put gas in boats fresh out the factory, stone cold empty. I know it. I'm hearing the boom tanks, all the things. And I'm watching the gauge, and it takes 20 gallons before that bar stops flashing and it registers.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, like I said, I've seen my gauge will show completely different when I'm sitting than when I'm on plane.
It's the orientation of
Right.
And the thing is, the sending does not touch the bottom.
Right.
So it's not going to. You're going to get a false reading. You got to
Right.
be able to anticipate that. Like, no, if you get that one bar, you're going to have 20 gallons at least. So don't freak out.
All
I
right.
get it.
So you heard it from him. 239 FS owners. If you got an issue with your fuel tank, it's the dealer. It's not Key West.
So we don't PDI. We don't settle. We're boat builders. We're not technicians. Now we've had to get. We do have some technical aspects that we've had to learn up here as of the last 2 or 3 years. All the new tech out there, Seakeeper Ride.
Right. Yeah.
You got all the RGB lighting, everything. A lot of things like if you won't Seakeeper Ride, you have to have a touch screen Garmin.
Right.
Get that. Now you don't have to. You can get some workaround with some different components.
I'm sure. Yeah. I think the Seakeeper does sell like a display that will control it too, but
yeah, but at
now
the
you
same
more
time,
money.
Right.
Right.
MFD, you get the right MFD, you got an infrastructure, you got to do a lot of things. And that's just what we make it.
I would love to put Seakeeper on mine, but I know there's some whole work that needs to get
It's
done.
not as bad on the 239. I mean, it's
Well, because that recess, you got to fill that.
that's a lot less intrusive than say a Sea Hunt or some other brands out there that have the details for the actuator and everything.
Oh yeah. Right. Yeah.
I mean, that right there, I mean, that cost where you might have $500 for this throwing that in.
Okay, so it's not too bad. Okay.
Across to the back of the hull.
My worry is just the gel coat, you know. Filling parts,
Yeah.
fiberglass, you know, but
The gel coat. But yeah, this goes very well. I mean, I like everything you do with it. You know, the anchor, the rod and chain, you know, most people have a little hole there you can
right. Oh, so that's where you're okay, so that's all runs up to that axis. Okay,
yeah,
that's awesome.
Shoot the little straight through there, that's where everything feeds into. So
That's nice actually.
if
That's
something happens, you can open this lid.
right.
And
So
the
now
plastic-
are these boxes I didn't want to open this one because it had stuff on it, but are these boxes insulated?
You know, I'm very careful in how I use that. You know, they are insulated with the foam we put in,
Right.
But they're not. It's not a cooler.
Right.
You know,
The lid's not insulated.
right.
Will it hold ice for a fairly long amount of
It'll hold
time?
ice as long as you don't open it.
Right.
Now, it'll hold. That box right here, insulated. The fish
Yeah.
box completely foam encased.
And that's macerated. as well.
macerated over.
So macerated fish box in the center, just like the 239 FS. I will say these are definitely a little smaller. The bow compartments,
They are, a little bit, not much.
but not much.
Not much.
Not much. They're long. They go in there pretty good, so you can still get
I mean, what you
a good amount of equipment
compromise
in
here on these is you
there. Right. You
get
have
your access to
right.
your rope and
Exactly.
load.
Everything's a trade-off, and I've always said there's no such thing as a perfect boat. So let me just get one more look at this bilge, just so you guys can see. Obviously, this boat's not finished, so don't make any judgments on fitness finish just yet, but that access alone is almost worth the upgrade from a 239.
If you change the pump and it's
Oh my God. And then you still have the live well here.
the live well got bigger.
Yeah, and it's actually bigger.
Looking at 239 now.
So the other question I had, somebody mentioned it to me, was is there an option to get the tow bar on this?
Absolutely.
Okay, so it is an option. All right.
Absolutely. A lot of things that didn't make it on the first boat out there that, you know, definitely gonna be an option.
Right.
You know, we're not gonna build a boat that doesn't have the options of the boat you've already built.
So we were there at the show on that Saturday, and we met a couple that was buying one.
Right.
They loved it. They were like, "We're buying this," and they were going from I think you said an 18-foot, like a 2000 and early 2000s Key West 18-footer. I'm like, "Oh, you're gonna love this thing, man."
It's night and day.
Yeah. So this gentleman's drilling the holes for the transom,
Yep, for the motor.
for the motor. He's got a jig.
Here.
Yep. Got everything ready to go.
Just squat in.
That's right, Yamaha, baby. And this is a
This is a 189.
189.
189 FS.
Nice boat.
Over here, you see all the consoles and stuff. We'll walk back
Right.
here real quick where they do the T-top assembly.
Okay.
But you know, they come
So
over
this
here.
is where they're doing like the finishing touches, getting it ready for.
But we got sub-assembly here for the, you know, they'll build the consoles over there. Bring them over here. These guys, we got our riggers. These guys going in, plugging the wires where they need to be. These are the most technologically savvy guys we got working.
Right.
We got a team like Fibers, this guy, that's all they do. That's
Yep.
all they do.
Yeah.
They
A
do it.
lot of work.
Yep.
It's a lot easier doing it here than in the boat
For sure.
on a hot day.
In the smaller boats, you know, you see that console laying down right there.
Right.
They don't have a door big enough for them.
No.
So he lays it down.
I barely fit in mine.
Morning, buddy. Morning, thanks.
So there's all your tops
Yeah.
before powder
So
coat.
just a framework over there. Antonio, what's up, buddy? Good morning, David. Good morning, Justin. It is. It's a day. Just a library.
263 tops.
263 top, yeah.
I'm good. I could tell by this mostly.
Yep.
When it goes into the console.
Well, and we're offering the pilot house on a 263 now as well.
Yeah, I know. I know. And I was hoping it was at the show, and I'm like, want to see it.
We had one in Greenville. They didn't order
Yeah.
one. Charleston didn't order one. There's going to be one on display in Biloxi this weekend. This is a 244 with the V2 top and our 249.
Right.
We got a great show happening.
So is this for
FSR.
FSR, right? Because I could tell by the dual overhead, which is a great touch, by the way.
Oh yeah.
That whole mesh thing back in the day was just not.
Floppy.
Yep.
It's floppy over time.
Yep. Mine didn't even. The guy must have thrown it away by the time I bought it. So.
I mean, they just that's a weather item.
Yep.
Sure.
Yeah. It's never gonna last forever.
But yeah, I really
But
like
definitely a different design than the old
I like
old
the new
style
top.
top.
You got
I like the lip.
pods, got more
Yep.
access for lights.
And what do you guys offer as far as stereo options?
Stereo options, you know, we got the Fusion with the upgraded Clarions. That's your entry level.
Okay.
And then we also offer JL.
JL.
JL is your upgrade.
That's what I have. Yeah, I love them. I've been a JL fan since the '90s.
I mean, it was Fusion, but then with component availability, tariffs, all the things.
Yeah.
Fusion's assembled overseas. Clarion is not. JL is not. And JL, Fusion, Garmin, they're all the same company now.
Yeah.
So it was just a natural progression that we had to make the move
Now, do you guys use Garmin exclusively?
exclusively.
Yeah. I noticed that last year at the pre-party.
Yep.
I was like, I think these guys are just using Garmin, which is great. I love Garmin. I mean, I've never used a Simrad.
We used them all for a while.
I love Navionics.
But trying to have all that and all the different levels. I mean, it's
Yeah.
like, okay, let's get good at one thing, guys.
Right. And there's nothing.
We offer without. You don't have to get our Garmin.
Yeah, you can
if you
put
want a
whatever you want in
Simrad,
it.
order it
Right.
empty, put whatever you want
Right.
in. Because Simrad, there is some cost savings there, kind of like Yamaha and Suzuki. There is
Right.
some cost. We're not
Nothing wrong with a
exclusive to Yamaha.
Suzuki, but
And we're not exclusive to Yamaha, but we are. As you look, you'll see about 90% of it's Yamaha.
yeah,
And the great part about it is Garmin and Yamaha work so well together.
yeah.
I mean, they communicate like.
That's what
Physically,
I want to
yeah.
get my motor to communicate with my Garmin, and I don't know how to.
You need a NEMA.
It's a NEMA.
Yeah,
It's,
you got the backbone in there.
yeah, it's back there. From what I could tell, like again, I don't know a ton about it, and I haven't done my research on it.
Either. I
But
mean, I depend on my.
I definitely
to
would.
make it work.
I'd like it to get it to work someday, just to have that redundancy, you know.
Well, that's one thing I did enjoy on my FSR this year is I had dual screen set up, and mine was a little unorthodox to some people because it wasn't what everybody thought it was. I had the smaller screen in front of the helm and my 16-inch over here.
Right.
Well, that small screen was my gauge.
Yeah.
I mean, I had all my engine data in big numbers.
Right.
My eyes are starting to fail as I get older. And I like just being able to look over and have everything there, so I don't have to scroll through the CL5 to get everything at once.
Right. It's all right there. And that's what I want.
On a 10-inch screen.
At some point, if I keep this boat out, I'd like to go dual screen. And I'll keep the same size. If I have a 10-inch, 10 or 12, 10, I think it's a 10.
You can fit two.
I'll get another 10. I'll get another 10. I don't care. Just get a newer version of it, so it has a little more. I want the Navionics basically, and I'll use the older one for the engine info.
Yeah. Yep.
So yeah, definitely.
But yeah, we do all the assembly in here. They bring them over there, attach the tops to them.
So like, this is off of something that has no T-top,
This is probably
right?
Yeah, this is like a 239 console. Might be a rental.
It might be, right? I mean, it looks about the right size.
239, and it is a rental boat. That makes sense. Okay.
Okay, so no T-top.
239. They do. Okay.
Yep.
It's very odd that I see these, but
Yeah.
there is a purpose. Low clearance bridges, stuff.
Yeah,
Like that.
yeah, exactly. I was one of the boats I looked at the boat show. I was like, this would be perfect for someone that wants to get in those tight areas with low bridges.
Yeah, 1720. Good old 1720.
You know? These new spreader lights are nice. All right, yeah, got a bunch of tops here. Some of the new design right there. So this would be an FSR top, Mike. This would be like an FSR.
FSR, yep.
So that's a new FSR top.
You see the small top.
Yep.
That's our pilot house for the 249.
Oh, okay. There you go. That's nice, man.
A lot less material there, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Definitely something that I was wondering, like, what's the longevity of that going to be like? But I'm sure.
Oh, with the back legs.
Right. With supporting the back of that
It's the
T-top.
strongest top assembly we've ever put out.
Okay.
I mean, that thing is rock solid.
Awesome.
Me and Dad went in and tested the first one we put on the boat over the summer.
Yeah.
And we waited till the weather got just straight close.
You guys had me dying when you were out on that cold day. I'm like, oh my God. Although if you called me and said, hey, we're going to go test drive this boat, you want to come? I probably would have been like, yeah, sure, I'll be out there.
The kid, she's like, no, I want to go. I was like, you want to go. Trust me, you'll look back on this one day.
So this has the Seakeeper, but it's integrated into
263.
263, right? Yeah. So the 263.
The 263 and 260, we put dedicated pockets in there.
Okay, so this is basically the only option is you're going to get Seakeeper on
Right
this.
standard on the 263, 291.
Okay,
Those
so
are
there's
two
no
bucks
option to
standard.
get standard trim tabs.
Not that
Standard
it needs it.
Seakeeper.
It's just one of those. I mean, when you get to this level of boat, it's easier to just put it in there.
Yeah.
And have it, and
Absolutely. And this size boat, I think it would be more beneficial.
I mean, it actually, yeah, but even as long as conditions allow.
Right.
I mean, on ideal conditions, turn it off. You actually get better speed, better efficiency.
Right, yeah,
These things
because
are so small,
it's
they
it's
don't work.
causing resistance.
Absolutely.
It's always causing
And
resistance.
it's never a perfect world in a sequence
Right.
world. If the boat can be running fine, it's still fine tuning.
Yeah,
So
it was thousands of times a minute. It's making adjustments. So
I love it. So again, like when we ran the 249, we running it against the current, against everything, and we had the ride system on. We were seeing with the 350, 53 miles an hour.
yeah,
Turn it off, 57 miles an hour.
that's awesome. With only a 300 on it.
Well, that was a 350.
That was a 350. Okay.
300.
Which is about what I get out of the 239. So this is a 291. Yeah, 291 FS. Again, integrated Seakeeper standard. Actually like this a lot. I don't know why. I just like the way that
You know
bumps
what that
out.
was there for initially? I mean, that was a kickback from the 244.
Okay.
But what that did is we had conventional tabs on here. Instead of having a detail for the actuator fit inside of, it melt right here. You kind of hide it from the side
Yeah,
profile.
okay.
You know, it's kind of it's just aesthetics.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. I like, listen, aesthetics are good. Aesthetics are good.
I asked that question about the 244. I said, what is that there for? And Hutch goes, it looks good.
And I got to say, I think you guys nail the tuna door, side door, whatever you want to call
Dock
it.
entry door. That's what I refer
Dock
to.
entry door, because
Dock entry.
it turns into a step. You could leave it down if you want. It's not. It doesn't feel like it's in the way. Like a lot of them that swing in.
They think they need to see it all the way down here, but that's like in the water.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to put it up here. That way, it eliminates that water. The water can
Right.
come in there. I mean,
Right.
now you can't stop it. I mean, ask anybody's got a side door. They do have water
Right.
intrusion.
And if you're bringing in fish, you could still use this.
You could still use that.
100%.
Man, we're on the 291, 239. Are we dragging a 150-pound tuna across?
No.
I mean, hopefully.
I mean, that'd be great, but
We'll find a way.
chances are that's not what you bought this boat for.
No.
No.
That's to help everybody get in from the dock. Because I mean, I've noticed that on the boats with the deeper. When you go step off the dock, you're stepping down into the boat.
Yeah, exactly.
And then there's that gap right there.
Right.
I mean, it's
So
not
I have,
precarious.
I have obviously my in-laws are elderly, and I love to take them out on the boat, but they have such a hard time getting over the gunnels to get in and out. This would be something that they could easily pop in and out of. So what do we got? What's this one here? This is a 263 FS. Okay, so built-in Seakeeper again.
Oh, this one's getting a new top on it.
Oh, it's getting the new top. Okay. There's a good old 239 FS.
From North Carolina. This boat has the baby joint.
So is this getting some work done?
Let's get some work done.
Okay. What's that? I'm looking at the vinyl. I'm like, it's definitely my generation.
It's a 2018.
2018, so it's a year newer than mine.
This boat's almost 10 years old.
Yeah, mine's 9. Yeah. It's crazy. But that's cool that you guys will do some repairs if needed.
I mean, if the customer's willing to bring it to us,
Yeah.
I mean, that's the biggest cost sometimes.
Yeah, it's transport, right? Especially if you're not in the local
Right.
area,
I think he's coming actually in the market for a 230. Well, he was in the market for a 239 FSR, and then as he was walking through when he dropped the boat off, he seen the number one about to head out to
Yeah.
Charleston, and he left confused.
Yeah. Well, I was talking to a guy yesterday on what was it, the boat Charleston boating in Charleston page.
Life Charleston?
Yeah, Boat Life Charleston. Because I mentioned that I was going to be making a video of the boat show, and this guy wants to see that 249.
Yeah.
He's like, he was bugging me yesterday. He said, "Did you get the video done yet?" I'm like, "I should have it done tomorrow." And then he was like,
Yeah, when you
He's
put it
like-
out there, I'm like, oh, he's going to be getting hammered.
"Oh yeah, that's okay. It's all right." So I said to him, he said to me, he's like, I'm looking at the FSR, but now the 249. I was like, if you're asking me my opinion, I would go with the 249 all day long. It's a foot bigger,
Yep.
fixes all the issues that the 240
When you build that
39
new
has.
239 FSR, the price you're going to land on, you might add an additional few $1,000s to get the same options on a 249.
Right.
So please,
Yeah, go with the
By
new
all
one.
means.
Go with the new one.
get the right boat first.
So this is a
291.
291, yeah. Another 291 getting finished up.
On the boat and motor superstore. Let me take a picture.
This is
For that guy that just
twin. Is this twin 350s or 300s, right?
No, 350s.
Oh, twin 350s on this baby. This boat's gonna hustle.
You think it would do it? Whoop. He doesn't want to call you when I get about it.
Yeah, somebody's getting a new boat very soon. This is where the boats get tidied up and sent out.
Yeah, these start looking like boats.
Yeah,
We get a rubbing process, make sure everything looks good. They have the finishing touches on the silicone suit.
right.
Hanging motors. Omaha Marine Center.
So by now, all the rigging's done.
All the rigging.
We're just mounting motors
We'll put
and
motors
final
on,
touches,
and then we'll start
getting them
marrying
prepped for
This is where
transport.
they'll marry the binnacle initially to the motor, for the digital motor.
Right.
And then it goes out, and you got to serialize each binnacle with a digital motor.
Gotcha. Awesome, man. Well, I think a lot of people are going to be happy to see the process and the detail in it. So what's this one? 263.
This is an individual that, the new top was available. He did not want powder coat.
Oh.
And it was like, don't give me that new top. I'm like,
Really? That's
what I
interesting.
expected. This boat right here is one of the best run boats that doesn't get near the cred that it is.
179.
It's another one of those examples. Bigger boat, wider platform, same size horsepower. It was better than 1720. Put a 90 on this boat, it will outrun a 1720 with a 90.
Really?
Yeah. And you can almost fit a 1720 inside this boat.
And this is a 179, so it's just a little bit bigger than a 1720.
Fit in your garage, do all the things.
Yeah. What's the beam on this?
7.
It's decent.
7.2?
7.2, yeah, I was going to say. It's got a decent beam for a 17-foot boat, yeah.
1720 is like a 6.7.
Yeah.
So you got, you gain about 600 inches on the width of it. And it's huge inside that.
Yeah, very good space. Yeah, the jump seat.
Great bill jack says again, kind of like it pulls out.
Yep, awesome.
I ran one of these the first year we came out with it, with a 115. This was a boat that wanted to be 50 miles an hour with a 115.
Really?
A little boat like that's the Bimini top.
Dude, 50 on a 17-foot boat is scary,
People
man.
chased me to the boat landing. That's got to be a 150. You got a different cowling on there. I was like, no, 115. And they'd go hang out there. I mean, it's a beautiful.
That's fast on a boat that size, man. That's fast. Another 263. Getting ready to go. This one is the twin 200s. This is also an awesome touch. Can't beat that. Okay, so one of the other questions I had, and I think a lot of people had, is you've got the 244cc, now you got the 260cc. Is there any plans on doing something in the 30-foot range in a CC model?
Potentially.
Yeah.
But market demands is where we focus our energy. And
of course.
Efforts. I mean, I hear it a lot from guys that, why don't y'all do this? That sounds great. But then you look at the numbers that are out there and what boats are actually being sold.
Right.
And, I would love to put something out for every single person, but we got to build and focus
what
our
the
energy
market,
on what,
the market asks for.
But also 20.
Right.
What market am I going to satisfy the most of? What's the larger market? And the reality of it is the larger market is, the dual purpose, the family, getting everybody out there. I mean, it used to be you had to have a pontoon boat to go hang out and a center console to go fishing.
Well,
boats have changed enough to where now you can get the best of both worlds, but you want the best of both worlds. So the seats need to be special.
Being from New York, if you saw a center console in New York, you knew they were going to fish.
That's right.
Nobody was hanging out on those boats back in the day. Those were fishing vessels. And I think, in the last 10, 15, 20 years, things have obviously changed. People are using them dual purpose. And obviously the 239, the 249, the 262, the 291, they all fit well in that family fishing, hybrid, dual purpose.
And let's be honest. I mean, the dual purpose is going to be 75% cruising, 25% fishing, if the numbers are even that.
Right.
If it's that high. I mean, it might be 20 and 80. I mean,
a lot of good sandbar days.
You've seen my boat, the 239 episode I ran last year. That boat never had a fishing rod on it.
No.
I mean, I got over 200 hours on it.
My friends bring fishing rods and then they never fish. So it's too busy hanging out having a good time.
I mean, she's a little Facebook famous as far as boating, but she is all about sandbar life. I mean, she don't have the patience to fish.
Yeah.
Sometimes from a dock while she's waiting on the boat to get ready, she'll throw a line in. But once the boat cranks up, throw that thing on the dirt, and we're gonna get in the boat and go find a party on the beach.
Yeah, that's how I am too. I used to, when I was a kid, I fished. But every time I wasn't catching fish, I started thinking about all the other things I could be doing.
Just hanging out.
Yeah.
I mean, you can go to a sandbar and just go swim.
Yeah, exactly. So
that's what
I get it. I totally understand. So these are some finished ones?
There's a 260cc with a new top on it.
Oh, okay. So I can get a look at that at least.
That's a completed boat right there.
This is a complete 263.
No, it's 263. Yeah, okay.
263, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
263 FS with the new top design. Get a little closer for you guys. New top, glass enclosure. It's just such a clean look. I love it. Now I want the 263 even more.
That's why we built it.
See the bow configuration, the wide. I love that wide console seat, the flip downs. Very nice. So this has the multicolor lighting.
Yep.
Multicolor lighting.
Got the ring on it. No. That's just blue lighting.
Oh, is it? Okay. JL audio. Got the forward and aft storage overhead. Just such a clean design. And I love the rear supports.
I mean, that's where all the strength comes from.
Yeah.
In addition to the strength, the handles there, the rod holders.
So now on these are inlaid into the floor as well. The rear leaning post setup.
No, the leaning post is not. What we have with the leaning post is there's a heavy duty, thick fiberglass,
like a lip
line of that, like a framework.
Okay.
That we mount to the floor.
Okay.
Methalically to screw it down, and then that fits over top of it. And that's
Okay.
attached to that.
Ah, okay. Dual live wells. Now, how's the bilge access on the 263? I know you have
like the 249.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have these two here, but
Yep.
you also have access from the back seat.
Pulls out, head and shoulders down in the
Okay.
bilge.
Twin Garmins on this unit. It's a beautiful setup. Love the color. I'll take it.
Sign, sealed, delivered.
And twin Yamis, 200s. What's the max horsepower on the 263? It's 600, right? So you could go with the two 300s on this as well.
I mean, the 200 are fine, and they have been forever. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a 49, almost 50 miler boat with 200s. 250s, it's a 53, 54, almost 55 miler boat. You're going to see 60 miles an hour with the 300.
Yeah.
It's a rocket ship.
The 300 is a great motor. I love it. And
And as good as the 300 is, I'm starting to feel the 350 might be just a little bit better.
Yeah, as it should be. I mean, it should be 50 horsepower better.
50, and it's actually more fuel efficient.
So this is the ladder, inboard ladder that tucks in
We
nicely.
made some improvements. A lot of people complain to this feature right here.
Okay, so that keeps it
off
from.
the hole and
Yep.
handles built into it.
Oh,
So
okay.
now when it's deployed, you got that stability right there.
Yep, it's just a
No
chunk
more
of
that
rubber.
swing inside, you're able to get up on it.
Not going to hurt anything.
Nope.
And it's probably rated for that 350-ish as
Better
well.
in the water. Gives you a little.
Of course, yeah. Yep.
Get that rolled around.
So the 263 only has one door.
Right.
The 291 has twin. Yep. Okay. Very nice.
After we're done building boats, they come over here more times than not. They
Okay.
get ready to get on a transport and head to their new home.
Yeah. So what do we got over here? So you got a new
We got a 239
239
FSR.
FSR.
1720.
1720 with a 90 horse.
And a 230 bay that someone's going to set up like a rocket ship.
Yeah. The brand new 239 FSR. The white 300. Crispy. Nope. Getting its final touches. This one will be going out real soon.
Very
I like that white.
Should be at a dealership's showroom tomorrow.
I like that white vinyl, man.
Yeah,
Love it.
that
So it's so pretty. My wife is like, I don't like it. It's gonna get dirty. I'm like, they all get dirty.
Yeah.
I might as well enjoy it. So this is the rocket ship. That's a show, right?
250 show.
250 show
Custom paint.
on what is this?
30 bay reef.
230 Bay Reef
No top.
with no top. This boat is going to boogie. Going to boogie. Twin Garmins. Yeah, this is a great setup.
I had to guess. It's somebody's building. Sold?
Oh, no, it's sold them. Most of the liquor the other day when it got dropped off up here because
Here we got another 239 FSR. 300 horse. Dark brown interior. It's got the basic leaning post, which is still a huge upgrade over the older versions with the tackle storage underneath and the pull-out cooler. This one has the windlass set up. This one will be going out soon. Loving this new glass enclosure. All right, so just real quick, if you get your boat built with Key West, you have the option of getting Garmin trolling motor put on from the factory, nicely mounted and ready to go. But the catch is, it's got to be a Garmin.
It's going to be a Garmin. We're a Garmin exclusive.
Garmin exclusive
Great
manufacturer.
product. Not
Yeah.
like you're sacrificing or compromising.
No, absolutely not. And if you really want something crazy, there's proof right there.
If you've done any boating on Lake Marion in the last 2 years, you've probably seen this boat before.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. It
Okay.
makes its appearance at the islands up there on the upper lake quite often.
This one I've never seen. I've seen the red one. I've talked to that guy actually. I missed
Our
him.
HR's boat.
Yeah, I missed him at the event last year though. Awesome. Definitely wild. That's definitely some unique.
Can you tell the man the Florida Gator thing?
No. I don't even follow college football, and I could have told you that.
The orange power pole.
Whew. Orange power pole, blue, orange, and black motors. Definitely unique. Can't miss this guy.
Nope. I can spot him from about 2 miles away on the horizon. Those orange tops.
That's crazy. So, just to touch on this year, the Key West Boat Day.
Yeah.
Right. So when is that? Just for the viewers.
It
was June 13th?
June 13th, 14th, or whatever that Friday and Saturday is.
Same location as last year, because I can always put it on a.
We're going to have a couple different things going on this year.
Oh,
excited
okay.
About. Very excited about.
Glad I asked.
Let's see. Yep, June 13th is a Saturday, so 12th Friday night we'll do the same thing at Bell's again.
With some boats behind you, man.
With the same thing going on at Bell's, but Saturday, we're going to still meet up at 64 like we have in the past, and
Okay.
everybody there, and we'll ask everybody to show up between 10 and then noon to get there. But at 2 o'clock, we're going to try and get everybody together, and we're going to relocate. We're going to
Okay.
have what we're going to try to put together, one
Like
of
a
the
little
largest
parade?
boat parades of Key West
Yeah.
boats exclusive from Island 64 over to a brand new marina they've recently redone. Cypress Shores Marina has been taken over by new ownership,
Oh,
and they've cleaned this place up beautifully.
awesome.
There's enough dock space there to accommodate 100 boats. So my goal is let's see if that's true.
Yeah.
And if
let's
not,
test that.
We will
Yes.
find it there. There's plenty of other areas we can. It's got a big beach area. We're going to have cornhole board set up, tent, food. That's where all the giveaways will be done this year.
So
It's going to be more of an intimate environment. 64 is great.
it is.
It is, but it's a public land.
It is. We had a little bit of everything there last year.
and I don't mind that. I enjoy
Nope,
it.
nope.
However, I want to. I'd love to see the parade of Key West boats.
Oh yeah,
About
absolutely.
80 to 100 Key West boats rolling down Lake Marion.
I plan on being there.
that would be
So
awesome.
boating the low country will be in their full effect, and
And there's gonna be a lot more details about. It's gonna be bigger this year. There's gonna be some stuff available for purchase. We got some special shirts. We're gonna be giving away the shirts for the first
Awesome.
50 to 75 registrants. But in addition, we'll have additional shirts, hats, and stuff that owners won't. But all the proceeds this year are going to go to an event that's very near and dear to our heart the following month, the Hooked on Miracles tournament.
okay.
Which all the proceeds go to the MUSC Children's Hospital.
Oh,
It's all
absolutely.
good stuff.
That's awesome.
We've been sponsoring that tournament for the last almost 8-9 years now.
That's
And
awesome.
we've built our donation level up. Last year we raised over $250,000 for it.
That's
And there's
amazing.
nothing I would love more to be able to present a check on behalf of the Key West boat owners for whatever we get, just to add to that. Because,
Absolutely.
at some point we've all had somebody, if you're from the area, that's been touched and affected by the work that's done at the Children's Hospital.
Yeah.
Either you have a friend whose kid was there, or your
Yep.
kid may have been there, grandkids been there. God, they do God's work, and
It's always good to give back. It's always good to give back. Givers gain.
and that's what we're here for. We give you your dream.
That's right.
Build the dream.
So more details on that. So June 13th at the moment is the date. The pre-party is still
Still going to be at Bell's.
on Friday night.
And there, I've made contact with a few other campground and marina owners around the area. You know, it's good. The event's grown to where now other guys are reaching out to me wanting to get involved.
Okay,
and,
good.
Met with Mr. Huey Mitchum over at Harry's Fish Camp there on the canal, the north side
Yeah,
of the canal,
yeah,
the upper lake out there. And he's done a lot of nice work to that place. He has over 20 rooms available for rent in addition to tiny houses and some cabins. So for people who are looking for additional accommodations that you can keep your boat in the water, or have easy water access, have that lake experience while if you're coming from out of town. I mean, I know
and it's a great location because it's a quick ride into Lake Moultrie. You're already on Marion.
And as far as a tour guide to the location, Hugh's very well with there. He's got a Key West himself, so he's excited, wanting to do it. You know, he might, if we get enough people showing up there, he's going to throw a party for you there too. Right. So for those guys that want to come in, you know, Thursday, Friday, do the whole weekend, which is awesome. I encourage anybody that wants to join us do that. Yeah. You know, that way you're not you don't have to make it all the way over Bell's Friday night. I want you to come.
Yeah, of course.
But at the same time, you know,
and we had a great time for that Friday night. Got to meet you there last year. That was our first time.
Open it up for more.
The food was good.
Yeah,
it was great seeing some of the boats beached on the shore there. Yep. It was a good time. Definitely fun.
But, you know, this year, like I said, we're going to try and, you know, involve more of the lake, more of the people around the lake. I mean, because they want to be involved, too. They like what we do. They enjoy it. I mean, Key West has been a local company here for more than 40 years now. Yeah. So, I mean, we're part of we're ingrained in the culture of this area. So, I mean,
it's awesome. You've started here and you stayed here.
Yep. And we're still running, owned by the same guy that started us.
Exactly. I would have loved to have met him today, but I'm sure he's a busy man. So.
They pop in, like I said. Let's look up. A seagull might be flying over at any time. But he was here yesterday all day long. Yeah. And you know, and he's not just here to tell you what to do. Yeah. I mean, he listens to learn.
It sounds like it. You know, I watched a lot of his videos. You know, like I said, with the old tours that they did, and I would say not the most polished, you know, person for doing that, but he obviously needed to let people know what was out there, and so he did it.
Now, he's not a polished person. He's a boat builder.
Right, exactly. that's what I mean. Like, and it's not a dig at him at all, and by any means. I mean, but
that's what makes our product
he knows his product. He's passionate about his product, and he wanted to let the world know about his product. And anybody that's ever seen that video with the bow cut off. And he's ripping around that pond with it. That boat's still. You're like, what the heck? That's awesome. Yeah. So still in existence. I will not be cutting my boat in half to try that out ever. I don't blame you. But if you know, it's good to know it'll float. So.
Well, and the thing is that's one thing that Key West has never done. I mean, we don't advertise. We've never spent a single dollar on outside advertising. And the reason being is one, you know, that's just an added cost. Someone's got to pay for that. Yeah. We got to roll that into the cost of production, and you know we don't want you paying for that. We figure if we get the boats,
word of mouth is the best form of advertising.
Word of mouth best, and the best.
And it will always be the best way.
Is these boats.
Right.
Let the boat do the talking. I mean, get the boat out there. I mean, and slowly work yourself into this position we are now, where we're one of the highest production levels of center console boats in America. I mean, whenever we're at capacity and we're pumping them out, 2,300 boats a year. Yeah. I mean, the way we do it, all hand done, all in-house. Every shape and every form you see is all us. I mean, that's one thing I take a lot of pride in. I mean,
absolutely.
We're not dependent on somebody else. Say, this is what you need for your boat. No, this is what this is what our boat needs.
Yeah. Quick question. That's a 239. With the new top.
That was number one. That was our prototype. That's the one we tested.
Can I show that?
You know, you can. Okay. I mean, it's not like it's a secret.
Okay. So this is surprising. I just happened to be talking to Mike, and I noticed this 239 sitting here with the new style top on it. Not the FSR top, but the very similar one to the 249 FSR. So it is the same exact top. So this is this was your test mule.
Right.
Okay. Yep. So I know guys have asked, I saw it in comments, that can they put this top on a 239? Clearly you can see it here.
You can't, because you got to have a whole new console.
Right. That's what I was going to get to. It's doable, but you're going to need a whole new console. You're going to need the top. You're going to need the rear leaning post setup. It's going to be a lot of work and a lot of money.
And be honest, I mean, it would not
probably not worth the effort or the money.
I mean, you know, maybe, but you know, it'd be one thing, but we wouldn't be able to accommodate here at the factory.
No,
because we're a production facility.
Right.
You know, we help when we can.
So somebody's going to ask, can you buy it? Can you buy that top?
I mean, anything you can buy, but as far as the labor and getting it in, that's
Right.
going to be the tough part.
Yes.
But
So that's going to be on you as the consumer to figure that part out for yourself. But you could just tell this is such a clean design. Look at that, legless, nothing down to the floor. Opens up this area so much more.
I like to focus on there's no exposed fasteners.
Yes, it's just clean.
There's no nuts and bolts. There's no.
You get the additional forward-facing speakers that the old tops didn't have. You get the additional rear enclosed box. Very large front box. It's just a great setup. Great setup. The only thing I would say that I would miss is I tend to arm hang
Yeah. No, trust me.
off my old top, and you don't have that option
My
here.
little girl is not a fan of that stuff. Though.
Really?
That's her swinging bar. That's where she. Does
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, she
swings
could.
upside down.
I'm not hanging off of my T-top. I don't trust it. I won't get up there. I don't even try. You know, not saying it's gonna fail,
I'm
but
glad she's a very small girl.
Yeah.
If you weigh about 50 pounds more, you're gonna be voiding my warranty. I don't think the tops are supposed to be an acrobat material.
but yeah, that's pretty cool. So this is the test mule. That's awesome.
And that's how we do things.
Yeah.
It's a little slower, longer, drawn out process, but.
So will you ever sell this? Sell this
You know,
model?
I don't know. Potentially, so this is Tom's demo. This is what he's been running
Give me a call first, please. Thank you. Definitely looks good though, man. Definitely. That's awesome.
But yeah, we built this. I mean, this is a stock 1720 that we put together to run 1,600 miles around the state of Florida in.
And she did it.
She did it.
No mechanical issues, nothing to talk
Oh
about.
my God, all kind of mechanical issues.
What?
That's just part
On
of
a
the
boat?
course. Oh, yeah. when we first signed up for this, we didn't know nothing about nothing. Me and my brother never had been, in 98% of the water we were about to encounter.
Right.
So we did all of our research on Google Maps, Google Earth, designating our stops along the way.
Yeah.
Just off
Old school way, yeah.
I mean, just mapping it.
Yep.
And then you had no idea what we were going to encounter. So this boat was rigged with almost every electronic component you could imagine. We had radar on this boat. We had
Wow.
a tower that went over the console. The radar dome was on top of it. I mean, two 10-inch screens on a special platform on it.
That's
and
awesome.
FLIR night vision.
Now, what year was this?
This was the initial. 2019. So 2019.
So 2019.
In April of 2019, we did the initial skiff challenge, and we finished dead last. But we finished.
But you finished,
But we
right?
finished.
Yeah.
I mean, I can
And you
honestly
learned
say
a lot.
There have been more people land on the moon than have done what, the small group of us guys have
Yup.
done in a 17-foot boat around Florida.
100%.
Conditions that I can't even begin to tell you.
Yeah.
I mean, if anybody's been to Florida boating in April, you know what it does in April. It blows.
Yes.
It blows constantly.
Yeah, you don't see a lot of people going to Bimini
No.
in April.
In
This.
Yes. Now,
In
we
this.
learned a lot after our first trip around the moon.
Yeah.
So when we built the next boat, it was a specific built 1720. It's like
Okay.
the only 1720 in existence that has carbon inlay and it was
Ah,
vacuum infused.
okay.
So that boat weighs about 500 pounds less than a standard 1720 hull.
Have you guys integrated any kind of carbon into any other? No? Okay.
That-
I know that seems to be a buzzword nowadays, like Kevlar and carbon.
And,
And
it adds some benefits, and yeah, it does. But I mean, the cost.
the cost
is-
is huge.
I mean, it doesn't
Does the
add up.
benefit outweigh the
Right,
cost?
Exactly, and it does.
And
not.
it usually doesn't. So that makes sense.
But I can tell you, the first year around, it took 69 hours. We watched the sun go up and go down 3 times
On this little boat.
from the deck of this little boat.
Not this motor though.
Not
Just
this
for the
motor.
viewers out there, it had a different motor on it, but
motor
this
was
exact boat
on generation.
did it have the
number
jack
2.
plate on it too?
Oh yeah, it had
Yeah.
jack plate on it.
Okay.
Yeah, jack plate's key on these situations. But like I said, we ran it the last time. I had no trim tabs. I had one screen. I had a compass. I had a fuel gauge, analog fuel gauge. I
Right.
had minimal components that would break because we learned.
Yeah.
The more buttons you have, the
Right.
more failures you're going to have. when you
Exactly.
beat the crap out of a boat for 2 days straight in
Yeah.
conditions that are not designed for a 17-foot boat to be in.
If you look at the guys that fish these boats, they don't want the bells and whistles.
Well,
They want, I mean, some of them, obviously, like the Garmin's, the navigation they want, but they could care less about the frilly stuff. They want a boat that's going to take the beating and get out there every time, get them on fish, and get them home safe in one piece with a big dinner in there.
If one thing was proven, the boat can handle more than the man.
Right.
I mean, and trust me, I had my hand on the E-perp several times during this
Yeah.
process. Ready to
I bet. That's what I tell people all the time. The boat can handle way more than you can.
Absolutely.
Don't worry about the boat. Worry about yourself. You getting beat up on 3-foot, 4-foot seas trying to cross over to Bimini for the first time.
I wouldn't focus on it, but if this got caught in your background, you're going to get a lot of comments on this boat.
Yeah. Okay.
This is one of the cult following boats. It's a 1760 Stealth flats boat we built from 1994 till 2012.
Okay. All right, guys, that wraps up the tour. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully you got some good information out of it, and you can see that Key West is focused on building quality boats and listening to their customers. Mike's a great guy. If you ever see him out at any of the events, go up and say hi to him and his dad, Tom. Great guys, clearly passionate about what they do, and it shows. So if you like the video, give it a big thumbs up, subscribe, follow, all the things. Check us out on TikTok too, Boating the Low Country, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks.